Hello, visionaries. This is your assignment video for week L. The distinctions this week are completion, consumer to creator, mess to message, / weakness to superpower, and week L. So here we go. Completion. So completion is a state of being. It's a way of being. It's a state. It's an internal state. It's a state in which you are whole and complete. There's nothing missing. You're whole and complete from the inside out, needing nothing externally to make you feel better, make you happy, have you be acknowledged, appreciated. Like you're you're a self-contained. You have everything within you need within you. Complete sovereign human being. Um, uh, if you're triggered by something, if you need something from the outside to make you feel better about yourself, if you need constant reassurance or being known or appreciated or something, you need stuff coming from the outside in to have you be whole and complete. Something is incomplete, right? Something is incomplete from the inside out. Think of it like some things in life get finished but not complete. You might consider your past relationship. I've noticed, I'm probably the only one, I've noticed that sometimes a relationship will end, but I'm still in the relationship, right? I'm pissed off, I'm annoyed, I'm hurt, I'm angry, right? So if that's the case, if the relationship is over and yet I'm still in the relationship, right? That's only happening up here with me. It's not actually happening out in the real world, and that's actually important. That's a critical discernment, is to notice when something is only happening within you. That's like really important, right? It's really important to discern and distinguish between what's happening in the world and what's happening only where you are. And the good news is what's happening only when you are can actually be impacted by you. That's actually good news, right? Your choices are, to be whole and complete from the inside out, or be at the effect of the world, right? The world needs to line up to suit you because something is incomplete within you. So first, you must acknowledge something is incomplete, right? You're always in the past, reliving some transgression or breakdown or trauma. You're always in the future trying to avoid some transgression or breakdown or trauma. You're blaming other people for your state. These will all be excellent indicators that you're incomplete about something. Or you go bananas every time someone mentions intelligence. You get upset every time someone mentions money. Hey, guess what? Something's incomplete where you are related to intelligence or money, right? So first, you must really get that being incomplete is not the natural state, right? That state of being upset, annoyed, victim-y, blamey is not actually you, right? That's something you're creating in response to something in the world, specifically like not getting something, completed, right? So I'm gonna say more about that. So I know that's a little self-referential there. But so first you must acknowledge that something's incomplete to actually get to work on it, right? How one might get to work on completing something that's incomplete. Well, might be something for you to forgive, right? You might, a big part of me putting my childhood in the past where it belongs is forgiving myself for not taking care of myself, right? For the little boy in me forgiving, the growing up person in me, like, hey, why didn't you take better care of me? Something like that. Forgiving my mother, forgiving various characters in my childhood, right? Listen, everybody is doing the best they can with what they have, literally. Even people who have transgressed horribly are little children, right? Even them, right? Given what they have and what their childhood was like and their view of the world and the resources they have available to them and the amount of awake or asleep they are, everything makes perfect sense to those who are doing whatever they're doing. That might take a minute to let in, right? Everything makes perfect sense to the people doing whatever they're doing. You have done some crazy stuff in your life, and it actually made sense to you when you were doing it, right? So first there, maybe something, so first you must acknowledge there's an incompletion somewhere, right? There's something to forgive. Let us start with ourselves, right? Forgiveness can't be fully actuated out in the world, can't be fully given unless you forgive yourself first. There may be something to communicate, like, yeah, something actually happened. There's something to communicate here. There was dysfunction. There was, something happened, right? You've been packing and stacking and keeping your mouth shut all this time. Maybe there's something to communicate. Maybe there's a lesson to learn, right? This is such a beautiful thing I've been learning from John this last little while is, when something happens, find the lesson quick. When you feel the little brush of a feather stroke, get that lesson quick, because next comes the nudge, and then the shove, and then boom, right? One of my gifts is being hard-headed, and one of my kryptonites is being hard-headed, right? So I can weather a storm, but I also have a tendency to need 3 or 4 2x4s to get the message, right? So don't, please do consider learning from my mistakes, right? So when something happens, learn the lesson, right? There may be something to heal, right? Something that may literally need to be healed, right? Something may need to be remembered. Your divinity, you are love, right? Something needs to be restored, okay? So complete is the state of wholeness, state of love, state of perfection. Not perfection like getting everything right, like perfection like you are love, and just letting that in, let the universe flow around you, right? And then our breakthrough process is perfect for getting complete, right? Something happened that really happened, right? And this beautiful child, open-hearted, wide-eyed, just loving life. Remember when you were a child, they couldn't get you to bed because you didn't want to miss a single minute of life? Remember that? Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? I'm excited to okay, it's almost 9 o'clock. It's almost 9 o'clock. I can go to bed, right? What happened, right? So what happened was stuff happened and you didn't get complete, okay? And then once you've done the work, breakthroughs, Awaken Life Live the whole point of Awaken Life Live is to get complete from a certain perspective, right? Right, the visionary program is getting so complete, doing the work from the inside out, so you can literally just be a lighthouse into the world, no matter how dark and stormy it is. Right, there's a lighthouse right there, right? You can be like that. So once you've done the work, now being complete isn't like putting lipstick on a pig, right? It's actually like doing the work to heal, forgive, acknowledge, restore, remember, right? And then you declare, I am complete with my childhood. I'm complete with my previous training experiences, right? And then is freedom and power. You have nothing to give to the world until you're whole and complete yourself. Oh, I wanna be a lighthouse in the world. Great. Well, you ain't got nothing to give if you're walking around pissed off and all victimy and whining and complaining about the past. You got nothing to give yet. So if you want to give to the world, you must first give to yourself the gift of being complete, whole, sovereign, in love, in truth of love, and everything's perfect and everything works for good for those who believe that everything works for good. All right, cool. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Oh yeah, let's talk about. Oh yeah, a couple of things, right? So if you're getting triggered all the time, there's something incomplete, right? If you're in the past all the time, ruminating about something, you're incomplete. If you're in the future all the time, controlling and making sure that thing doesn't happen again, you're incomplete. So those are like indicators. Okay. Angry people are incomplete. Fearful people are incomplete about something, right? So also something that got created last night, really beautiful. Think of a circle, right? Breakdown, trauma, breakthrough, complete. Breakthrough or trauma, breakthrough, complete. Choo, choo. Are you ever fully complete? I don't know. Are you ever fully clean? Like, did you take a shower 3 years ago and you got so clean you never have to take a shower again? Right? I hope not. You're the one, right? So, it's a multi-layered process, right? Stick with it until the default experience you have is peace, love, joy, light, connection, right? Then you're complete. And even then it could come back up, right? And you just have a breakthrough and then you're complete. No thing, right? All right, beautiful. Let's move on to consumer to creator, right? So there's a truth to human beings. What's the truth? We are love, we are creators, we are God's children. Anything is possible for us, right? Then the fabric of the world that we live in, the dream, the illusion of the world that we live in, insists that we're consumers, insists that we're not good enough, right? The whole education system, born from the Industrial Revolution on, 1800s on, was a education system to turn human beings into factory workers, right? Into machines, production machines, right? That's real. That's not some woo-woo thing, right? So literally our entire education system is based on turning human beings into profit producing pieces of a factory, right? All speaking the same thing, all believing the same thing, being able to perform the same way, getting the answers right, not getting the answers wrong. Don't ask too many questions. Stop thinking, stop thinking, stop thinking. Just do what I tell you. You don't need to know why because I said so, right? Stand in line, sit down at the same time. Everybody take a break at the same time, right? Go home and consume entertainment. Stop thinking, stop feeling. Don't feel anything. Stop telling me about your feelings, right? So the point of Earthquake University is to give human beings an opportunity to remember, rediscover, uncover the truth. What's the truth? Your love. Everything's perfect. Everything works for good. You are a creator. You can create anything. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience, no matter what anybody tells you. From asleep to awake, awaken life live, from asleep to awake, from victim to victor, from needing something externally to having everything you need internally, from dark to lights, right? So a creator is a lighthouse into the world. A creator is a beacon of light and love and connection and peace and joy. When you're being a creator in the world, when you're being a lighthouse in the world and you interact with other people, they're left with, oh my gosh, I am love. Oh my gosh, I have everything I need within me. Oh my gosh, I'm a lighthouse. Oh my goodness, I remember love. I remember who I am. I am love. I am the light. I am worthy. I am capable of anything. I'm a creator. Cool. Consumer to creator. Oh, just another little piece, right? So it's a multi-generational thing. Billions of dollars are spent in the US after the Second World War. The US government made a specific decision, a commitment to create a consumer economy, which means everybody's got to be consumers, right? We need to convince everybody that they're not enough unless they buy something, right? White picket fence, the right deodorant, the right car. We don't want to think too much. Let's give them lots of entertainment, you know, national sports and whatever. Social media plays right into it, keeps you from thinking and feeling and communicating and being present with one another, right? So just notice what has you be more asleep and notice what has you be more awake, right? And then choose wisely. Wake up. The world needs you now, right? We're all one, but it's your unique difference that can make the difference. The world needs people who are awake, alive, inspired, joyful, in love, and the world needs that now. Look around, right? You want to know what happens when you take a planet full of people who are divine creators and convince them that they're consumers? You want to know what happens? Turn on the news. That's what happens, right? The world's coming undone from a certain perspective. Love is the answer. You are love. You are a creator. You're what's needed now. All right, consumer to creator. Thank you. All right, great. So mess to message and weakness to superpower. So these kind of fit together and they're kind of separate. And so it's gonna take a little something to discern between the two. So mess to message. We've all been through a dark tunnel. We've all been through a challenge. I've been through a good little handful of them, you know, starting with, you know, my childhood was very dark and disconnected and loveless. And every time I let my little light shine, get a little beat down. And I got taught real clearly not to speak too much, not to ask too many questions. Don't be a bother to anyone. And So having come through that mess, that dark tunnel, and come out the other side of someone who knows themselves as light, love, and connection, I have something to say about what it is to transverse the journey from darkness to light, right? From loveless to love, from disconnected to connected. I actually can speak to that, right? I can stand for that. I can train people in that. I had an interesting experience in my first foray into public speaking in junior high school, and I'm running for student council, and I get on stage, and I'm blinded by the light, and a couple thousand kids are laughing at me, like full on laughter cascading down upon me, and I stutter and I freeze up, and I leave stage. I walk off stage, mortified, and people make fun of me in the hallways for weeks to come, and I'm never, ever, ever gonna, do public speaking again, right? I'm never gonna try that again, right? And here I am, right, leading Awaken Laugh Live and visionary program and coaching and all that kind of stuff, right? So from that message, from having gone through that tunnel, right, I have something to say about what it is to transverse from I ain't never gonna, and it's not possible for me, and I'm literally not capable of, to operating at a world-class level at something, right? I'm excited. I have walked the darkness, right? And I have something to say about it. I have a recipe, and I have a stand, and I have a knowing that you too, if I can, you can, right? No doubt. And I'm unmovable about that. So that's the message, right? Your gift is your darkness, right? The worse your darkness is, the bigger your gift. So some of you have been through incredible darknesses that you haven't even spoken about yet. Some of you have been through incredible darknesses that you have spoken to about. Some of you have just dealt with what it is to, grow up in this, crazy ass world as a judgment. But yeah, let's go there for a minute. And as you come into the light, as you come into love, as you remember who you are, you've got something to say about that particular journey, and you can be unmovable when the next person who's at the beginning of the tunnel going, I can't, like, yes, you can. And I can be of some assistance, right? A guide, if you will. So that's the message, right? And weakness and superpowers really is pointing to the same thing, but so let me just create that, right? So as a stutterer, right, I could not speak as a child. I couldn't speak in public. I could really not speak on the phone. If any kind of stressful situation was going on, I would lock up. I couldn't speak to strangers, basically everything that I do now, I couldn't do. The idea of poking at 200 people at the same time was not in my future, right? And having overcome that, right, and that's a whole little story. Pre-transformation, I got myself into sales and, learned various techniques to speak, for stutterers to speak clearly. And then, got into transformational training and, kind of had to go through the whole thing again because speaking from the heart, sharing is different than presenting, right? So kind of two little journeys. And I have a superpower around overcoming stuttering. I have a superpower about overcoming fear. I have a superpower about what it is to go from ain't never gonna and can't to, world class, right? So best to message is I have a knowing and a training and a recipe, and the super weakness to superpower is I have a specific skill that is born of the weakness, of the darkness, right? So both distinctions, one is like a skill, an ability, the other is like a message to the world, right? Message, weakness to superpower, but they both point to the same thing. Your darkness is your gift, right? Your trauma is your gift. The tunnel, the dark tunnel, the fear is your gift, right? Whatever beatdowns you got, it's actually your gift to the world, because if you experience, so did others. And maybe you went through that darkness, so other people don't have to. And you have a recipe, and you have something to say, you have an ability, right, to actually be that lighthouse and be that difference into the world. Cool. So that's the message, and weakness is superpower. All right, great. So get with your group this week, right? Don't mess around with the groups. Show up, right? Stop doing life how you usually do life, and allow yourself to experience the visionary program, and allow yourself to wake up fully and benefit from the resources and love and the community that we have here, right? Do not rob yourself of that opportunity. So show up to your groups, do this assignment, do it now, stop messing around, do it now. And then show up to your group and really create how you're going to bring this work to your life, being complete, being a creator, your message to the world, your superpower. Like really create it. Don't just, oh, I got my group, let me do this. Oh, I did my assignment. No, go way beyond that. Get at the source of this work in your life and use the groups to support yourself and your group members to actually have this work be present in your life. Your job is to get to the source, be the source, right? Be the creator of these conversations, right? These are your conversations. Have them be yours. Do the work, do whatever work's necessary to have this actually belong to you and you be the source of it. These were all brand new conversations for me at one point, right? And now they're mine, right? And so too can they be yours, right? And this make sure everybody in your group gets their work done. Make sure everybody's getting what they came for, right? All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you real soon.